Okay, let's see if we can make this one come up a treat. Okay, full colour. Going to look at the enlargement when we get the original. So we're going to make this look really nice. I think we're just going to leave the contrast as is, and we're just going to lighten this off. Alright, see what this one is. I'm actually wondering if maybe it's too light. I've made it too light. Maybe I can just stick the copy density in the centre for this. Okay, what is it? It is Leap Health and Wellbeing. So it's a birthday special. We've turned 1. We're going to photocopy the balloons. Not that I like balloons. Balloons are extremely polluting, and if I had my way, they'd be banned. But basically, balloons are like an integral part of most people's birthday parties or whatever. It just seems to be a tradition, but it's not good for the planet, so I'm not for it. I hate balloons, and they don't last, and they make a loud noise when they pop, and yuck, I don't like it. So the vertical's going to be 400, but the horizontal's going to be a lot less. But yeah, I just don't like balloons. They're just shit. I like things that last. It'd be nice to have decorations that you can reuse. Even if you don't reuse it for yourself, but give it to your friends to reuse who don't have those particular types of decorations. But balloons they just look ugly anyway. I mean, I know you can get these really fancy ones that look nice, but once they're popped, it's like, fuck. It's no longer pretty anymore. So I don't like balloons. But anyway, I think we've made this framed quite nicely. Wondering if we're going to keep it like that or maybe enlarge the balloons further on the vertical. But basically I just hate balloons. I just don't like them. And I mean, they just don't do anything for me. And you know, I just prefer something that lasts. If you're going to have a birthday party for me, don't give me balloons, whatever you do. It's not my kind of thing. We'll see how big we need this to be a bit smaller than an A6, but yeah, I just don't want any balloons or anything like that in my birthday parties. I'm just not interested. I don't like them. I don't appreciate them. I'm going to do something interesting with this piece. We're going to make it into a movement piece. We're going to do something totally different to what we normally do. Because balloons can just pop and they end up in the waterways, end up in the ocean, and then a sea turtle or a fish eats them and they die, and it often an agonising death. So it's not fucking fair on the creatures of the ocean or whatever else who might ingest these nasty little bits of plastic or plasticised rubber or whatever it's made out of, whatever fucking plastic or shit that it's made out of. But I don't want balloons for my birthday. So if I ever have, well, I know that my future husband Luigi would never give me balloons. He's like me, he doesn't agree with them. And they don't last, even the nice looking ones, because they don't last. They're just real. It's heartbreaking to see something that looks good suddenly get damaged and no longer of use. And that's what balloons are like. They're just a letdown, so to speak. To me, they just don't have any appeal whatsoever. I mean, yes, some of the fancy ones look nice, but they've got to be really polluting for our environment, so why bother? I'd rather just have my birthday present, my birthday cake. I don't celebrate my birthday very often anyway. I don't have a gaggle of friends to have a party with. I'm just not a party. I like parties, but I'm not a big party person. I'm a person who just has one person that I love, and that is Luigi. And I'm not interested in having gaggles of friends to hang out with. I've got no time to hang out. I've got things to do. I've got these demos I'm making for the world. You know, I've got more important things to do than fuck around with gaggles of friends doing stupid things. I have no time for that. I've got more important things on my plate that I need to do, and this is one of them, is making these funny little quirky little demos that I make, and that's what I do. I'm not interested in trivialities and distractions. I'm not interested in watching television. I'm not interested in anything. I mean, yes, maybe when I get together with Luigi, we're going to watch a bit of maybe Doctor Who. We're going to watch some things, right? But we're not interested. But currently I don't have time, and I just don't want to do these things watching Doctor Who on my own. I want to share it with someone, and Luigi is the one. But at the moment I've got no time for movies. I've got no time for farting around. I've got to do this these demos I'm doing now. I want to showcase what I'm good at, and this is what I'm good at. And I've got talent, even though I have disabilities, even though I've got brain damage that I had which happened at birth. I'm not going to let the world tell me that I'm not good enough, right? I'm sure there are things I can't do, such as learn and work in a normal job, but I've got dreams of the future where the technology will fix the brain damage. But before we get there, we've got to get this stuff done. We've got to show the world. And yes, even my father, who is not a fan of my work. He hates my photocopier work. He thinks it's shit, basically, in a nutshell. And he seems to think I don't have any disabilities. He seems to think I can be just like everyone else. I'm normal. What makes you so different? He's that kind of mean-spirited asshole. He doesn't agree. He wants me to do what he does, like he enjoys singing, but he's not talented at singing. I can't sing because I yawn when I sing, and I'm not interested in singing. I'm interested in this, and I can do this. This is me. Dad won't tolerate that, and I've got to prove to my fucking father, dickhead, that I'm not a failure. And the only way I can think of getting through to my fucking father and also my brother is to go on television, is to showcase this shit on television. And I'm becoming desperate to make amends to my brother and my father. And not just them, but people at school who believe in me, and people at school who treated me like shit. Again, they've got to show that I've got to show them that I'm not fucking a piece of shit. So they're going to see me on the news, hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed, folks. But that's down the track. I don't know if I've done this properly. I think these should have been the centre, not that. But we're just going to leave it at that. I think now we can call this demo quits.